This is your girl Tysheen, and I'm back with another video. I just want to talk a little bit about Twilight Zone. Yes, I'm not talking about the new Twilight Zone that just started like in 2000, somewhere in 2000, I don't remember, but I'm talking about like the one that started in 1960, I believe. I might put it right here. I think it started in 1960. The one that what's his name? Rod Sterling. I think his name is Rod Sterling. He's the creator, the writer, the director of the Twilight Zone back in those days. And I grew up watching Twilight Zone. It's like one of my favorite, all-time favorite TV show. I must have watched a lot of these episodes like about like 20 times. To this day, I still watch it once in a while if I feel like watching it. And I've seen all the episodes, all of them. Now the new one, I have not watched it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because I don't know, is this because it's something about Ron Sterling when he made Twilight Zone back in the days. It was very unique, you know. I don't know, he was a very smart, creative man, and I just loved the Twilight Zone back in the days. I grew up watching it. Like I said, I grew up watching it, and I'm just so like, it's like part of my childhood. Yeah, so every time I watch it, I get so happy because I have to sit down and relax. You know, even my daughter watch it, you know, she loves it. She said she watched the new one, but she preferred the old one too. So yeah, so I'm going to watch the top 10 best Twilight Zone episode, I believe. I'm watching it from Mojo. You know, if you know their channel, go and subscribe to them. They have a ton of good stuff on there. But I want to react to this one here. I don't remember watching this one. But I know they talked about Twilight Zone before, but I never seen this one before. So we're gonna watch this one. And this is their top favorite. Or maybe this is their top favorite, but it's not mine. I don't know if this would be my top favorite, because there was so many of them, and I like, oh my god. But we'll talk about that later. So let's go react to this one. So let me get this started. Oh, I didn't even play it.
Number 10, Living Doll.
She's alive, Daddy, and her name is Talking Tina.
I remember talking Tina.
Twilight Zone to take an innocent toy doll.
Yeah, I remember talking Tina.
Into a genuinely intimidating presence.
My name is Talking Tina, and I don't think I like it.
When Eric Streeter scorns his stepdaughter's new doll, Talkie Tina talks back to the disgruntled parent. When verbal abuse doesn't work,
that is
threatens
scary.
Physical hostility as a way to put Streeter in timeout.
But he was an asshole.
Just get worse as the show goes along. Is Tina doing all this, or is someone playing a trick on Streeter? Or is all this in his demented mind?
I'm gonna put this on pause. I really thought that, and this is spoiler alert, I know some of y'all probably didn't watch this. Don't watch this if you haven't seen the Twilight Zone in 1960. If you haven't watched any of them, do not watch this if you haven't watched it. If you do want to watch it, go to Netflix. I think Netflix and Hulu have Twilight Zone. So if you're interested and you're home stuck and you're bored, go and watch them. You're gonna thank me later. I thought this was all in his head, because a lot of Ron Sterling, I hope I'm saying his name right, Sterling, I think it's Sterling. A lot of Ron Sterling, oh my god, Ron Sterling, he's very, very smart man, and most of these stuff that he writes is mostly about mental, you know, things that we think about, things that we experience mentally, not physically, but more mentally. So yeah. And I thought this episode, I thought the father was just all in his head, but it was not his head.
Whatever the case, it's hard not to get chills every time Tina opens her freaky eyes.
I told you you'd be sorry.
Number 9, 5 characters in search of an exit.
I remember this episode.
The rest of us?
What did this clown, hobo, bagpiper, ballerina, and army major have in common? They don't know who or where they are.
They don't.
It is never a good sign in the Twilight Zone.
We don't know who we are. We don't know where we are. Each of us woke up one moment. Here we were in the darkness.
Rod Serling scripted this masterfully written episode, which finds our players questioning their creation, sanity, and existence as they attempt to escape a cylindrical prison.
I don't know if anybody saw this episode. This one was crazy. And when I seen this one, I was like, where? They don't even know who they are and where they came from. Well, like I said, I'm gonna spoil it. So don't watch this if you well, put this video on pause. Or skip them. Put on pause. Skip it. Because if you don't want to hear what I got to say. They are toys. They are live toys. They don't know that they're toys. They're in like a, what you call it, around Christmas time, you have the people who collect money for charity outside, and they have the bells, because I guess they want to draw people's attention to let them know that they're charities and they're collecting money. Or not just money, sometimes it could be anything, money, clothes, or toys. Well, these are toys, and they don't know. They don't know that they're toys. And they try so hard to escape, and they couldn't escape. So yeah, the soldier guy, he did fell out of the bucket, but then the woman saw that he fell out, and then she put it back inside the bucket. So it's like, I just realized something, what I just said. Like, how did she not see the toy fell out? Like, how did it get out? Well, anyway, yeah. So this was one of my favorite. But I wouldn't say it's like
generates a sense of genuine mystery.
My top
that doesn't
10.
disappoint with its explanation. Without giving too much away, it's one of the few stories where a beloved holiday becomes a villain.
It may be back, but it won't be to get us.
Number 8. It's a Good Life.
Oh yes, I did forget something, didn't I? I forgot to introduce you to the monster.
To the monster.
Are children born innocent and corrupted by society?
No.
Or are they born spoiled brats
Spoiled
and
brats.
society keeps them in check?
Bad dog.
Young Anthony Fremont, chillingly played by Bill Mumy, is undoubtedly born.
This kid is the most scariest kid I ever seen. This would be one of my top 10 favorite Twilight Zone. This kid, Anthony, I think his name was Anthony. He has the power to do anything he wants to do, just using his mind. If he wants to kill you, all he gotta do is use his mind. No hesitate. He'll just use his mind and turn you into anything he wants you to turn you into. He killed a lot of people. He killed like everybody around the world. The only people that's alive is the people that's around his town. So there's nobody outside. There's nobody nowhere else but in that small town. Because like I said, he killed everybody. He could do anything he wants to do. He could change the weather. He can, and he knows when you don't like him. He senses it and he will kill you. That's what's so dangerous about this kid. I don't like him. And if you've seen this episode, am I the only one who was like, remember when the guy was celebrating his birthday? Anthony didn't like music. He said he don't like music. He don't like noise. And the guy was telling somebody, take a iron or something and hit him across his head. I was waiting for somebody to hit him across his head. His aunt was in the background. She looked like she was about to grab the. They made it look like his aunt was going to grab that metal piece from the fireplace. They made it look like she was going to do that, but she didn't do it. But I was like, somebody hit him across his head. Like, he needs to die. Like, it's sad for me to say that, but he needs to die because he's very, very dangerous kid. He killed a lot of kids too. If you watch the episode, the father talked about him not having friends because he wished them in the cornfield. So basically, they're dead. So yeah, so it's crazy.
Zero empathy.
Don't make any noise when the music's playing.
Don't make no
I don't
noise.
like any noise when the music's playing.
Unfortunately, he was also born with mighty magical powers, and society
See?
is powerless to control him.
Not many dogs left now, Anthony. Why you wish them all away?
Unless people think happy thoughts, this 6-year-old boy will send them to an unknown place known as the cornfield, or turn him into jack-in-the-boxes.
He turned the guy to a jack-in-the-box. That is crazy.
This classic makes the most of its horrifying premise, which keeps its characters and audience in a constant state of terror. In short, it's real good.
It's good what you've done to man.
And the father's kissing his ass because the father's scared of him.
It's just swell.
Number 7, The Hitchhiker.
Oh, The Hitchhiker. This will be one of my top 10 too.
On a trip to
The
California
Hitchhiker.
will be terror.
This was scary.
Paranoid when driving by yourself. On a cross-country road trip, Nan Adams is followed by a shabby hitchhiker who disappears as quickly as he emerges.
There he is.
Yeah.
Whenever I stop, I see him. No matter how far I travel or how far.
I want to put a pause on this one. This one was one of my. This one is definitely one of my favorite top 10 episode, because first of all, it was a little scary because this man keep appearing every time she drive, because she was driving from New York to go to California to go see her parents, and every time she's driving, he's like, you know, he's hitchhiking. He's like, I guess he's asking her for a ride or whatever. She won't give him a ride because he look creepy. I mean, he do look creepy. And she just keep driving. Every time she driving, she keeps seeing this man on the road. Like, it doesn't matter how far, what state she's in, she'll see this man doing this. And come to find out, she didn't know that she was dead. She was dead. She had gotten into a car accident on her way going to her parents' house. And that guy was her angel. So basically, he, when in the end of the episode, he was in her car, in the back of her car, because, okay, I'm stuttering. When she was halfway, I think California, she had called her parents to, I guess, to let them know how far she was. But come to find out, like I said, she found out she was dead because I guess the maid had answered the phone and told her, excuse me, their daughter had died. And she doesn't want to speak to nobody right now. Her daughter, she just found out her daughter passed away. And the girl that's in the show, she was confused, like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? I'm my only daughter. What are you talking about? She said her daughter was in a car accident on her way to coming home, and she died. And then that's when it hit her that she realized, like, wait a minute, I feel relief. I feel free. What's going on? And then she started putting two together, and then she found out that she was dead, and the guy who was hitchhiking was her angel. And then he was in the back of her car, and he told her, "Are you going my way?" So yeah. Love this episode. That's one of my favorite. And it have you thinking too. It does have you thinking.
They're going. He's ahead of me.
And I wonder if people experience. I wonder if people, like people who are about to die, if they die, if they experience that.
Man, you must have seen him. The one standing beside the road.
Bolstered by a gripping central performance from Inger Stevens, the episode keeps us guessing as to whether Miss Adams is going crazy or if this mysterious man is out to get her.
I was trying to hit him. I thought maybe if I could kill him, I could make him stop.
Our fear grows with every passing mile, and the final destination will stop anyone in their tracks.
Man was killed just 6 days ago in an automobile accident in Pennsylvania.
Number 6, the masks.
My guess is that you could measure your life in moments. It can come at any time.
The
Oh,
Twilight Zone episode directed by a woman, Ida Lupino.
this is one of my favorite too.
Also one of the grimmest tales ever
But I'm not
told.
sure I'll say this is my top
My
10.
opinion,
But this is one of my favorites.
Even ours.
Oh, how perfectly awful. But of course we've been expecting it.
As Jason Foster lies on his deathbed, his self-absorbed family.
Yeah, his family is spoiled. They very spoiled.
So they can collect their inheritance.
They can't wait for him to die.
Everything I've sown, to collect everything I've built.
Jason doesn't write his rotten relatives out of his will, but expects them to pay a price in exchange.
And I've arranged for all of us to wear masks.
He forces them to wear grotesque masks that match their hideous interiors.
Perhaps not the same degree.
This episode was crazy. I remember this episode. Like I said, he's dying. His family are like spoiled. They don't care about him. They act like they do, but they really don't. They can't wait for him to die so they could collect the, their money, whatever. And he knows. Of course, he knows. He knows how his family are. So he made them wear these special masks that I think he got on his trip to Africa or some other country. But these masks molds your face to like, they all look like some type of caveman monkey looking creatures, and they'll be like that for the rest of their life. It's crazy. When they took it off, I was like, damn, they're ugly. Like very, very ugly. And that's crazy that he did that, and I don't feel bad for them. They was very, you could tell they don't care about him, and I don't blame him. I don't blame them at all.
Of excitement that you get from torturing small animals, as I've seen you do in the past.
Creating a captivatingly uncomfortable evening and a twist
See?
that really gets under your skin. Number 5. To serve man.
Come from a planet far beyond.
I remember this episode too.
A planet far more developed than Earth, but we come as friends.
Even if you've never watched The Twilight Zone once in your life,
I'm not sure this is my
chances are you
favorite,
still
but
know about this
it's
episode's
yeah, I can say
shocking final
I don't know.
act
It was okay.
Mr.
It was crazy though.
We wouldn't want you to lose weight.
We won't give the ending away here, but it's nothing short of classic and forever.
I'm gonna give y'all the end. I'm gonna let y'all know what happened in this episode. This episode was crazy.
This? It's a harmless cookbook. It's just a little dusty.
Although To Serve Man is often remembered for one iconic line, the fact is the whole episode is a wonderfully constructed half hour of television.
Don't get on that ship! Rest of the book! To serve man!
That episode was crazy. There were some aliens that came to Earth and they acting like they care about us and they have our back and they just they came here for peace. Well, they only came here to eat humans. Humans are like food to them. So they pretty much kind of tricked the people on Earth. Everybody couldn't wait to go into their planet and see how the way they live and stuff like that. And everybody trusted them. Everybody around the world trusted them. And come to find out, they're only inviting people to their planet so they could eat them. And this lady here who works with the guy, I guess there's some type of scientist or something. She was there to warn him, but it was kind of too late. He already went on the ship. So the episode was crazy.
The cookbook, giving us
A
great
cookbook.
reason to forever be suspicious of
Look at his face.
The episode demonstrates that sometimes the most peaceful outsiders can be the hardest to read.
Sooner or later, will all of us be on the menu?
Number 4.
Yes, I was most, like I said, they knew how to manipulate everybody on Earth for months. It took them like about, when I was watching the episode, it took them about like 6 months to a year to like convince everybody that they're very peaceful people. They love us, and they was doing things for everybody, for the government or whatever. Everybody was like couldn't wait to go into their planet, see how they live, and this whole it was a whole bunch of setup.
Eye of the Beholder.
When will they take the bandages off?
If you're going to introduce someone to the
One of my
Twilight Zone,
favorites.
this haunting episode is a perfect launching point.
You know, sometimes
I don't know if it's one of my top 10.
I've lived my whole life inside of a dark cave. The walls are gone.
From a production standpoint, it's one of the series' most stunning outings, with engrossing cinematography and a brilliant use of shadows.
Blood pressure and temperature are normal, Doctor. There's been no change.
From a storytelling standpoint, it's an intense, emotionally involving tale about a deformed woman's last chance to blend in with society.
I'm sorry your case is not one that we can handle with plastic surgery. It's your bone structure, flesh type.
As for the big unveiling, let's just say it provides a fascinating commentary on conformity.
Each of us is afforded as much opportunity as possible to fit in with society.
How society perceives physical attractiveness, and how beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder.
When I saw this part, I was like, what is wrong with her? She's beautiful. Like, was she doing plastic surgery? Like, what's wrong with her? She's beautiful. She kind of looked like Marilyn Monroe a little bit. So I was so confused when I saw this episode, but then look.
Number 3.
Oh, they didn't show it. I guess they didn't want to spoil it for people who didn't watch it, but of course I'm going to spoil it. So if you want to watch it later, like I said, skip this part. They live in a world where their beauty is different from what other people consider beautiful. So as you can see, like I said before, she looked beautiful. She reminded me a little bit of Marilyn Monroe. But then there's a different world that might look at her and say, no, she ugly. She ugly. And the doctors and all of them, they look, in our eyes, they look ugly. They look like this. I'm gonna put a picture right here. This is how they look. This is how they look. And they consider that beautiful. So it's like, it makes you think, you know. So that's why it's called The Beauty of the Beholder. I hope I'm saying it right. So yeah, the beauty of the beholder. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
Monsters are due on Maple Street.
This is one of my favorite top 10. This is one of my favorite.
If there was ever a Twilight Zone episode guaranteed to chill you to the core, this Rod Serling classic is it. A tranquil day on Maple Street takes a terrible turn as the power goes out and it appears something paranormal is going on.
They don't want you to.
Who doesn't want us to?
Them?
Friends and neighbors become enemies as tensions
Yeah.
escalate to a modern-day witch hunt.
He never did come out to look at that thing that flew overhead. He wasn't even interested.
This episode reminded me of this whole coronavirus. Let me tell you why. Because China, well, America, we blame the Chinese for the whole virus. We, you know, from our understanding, it all started in China, but now China is starting to say that America started. So everybody's pointing fingers like, no, you started it. So, you know, we don't really, I don't know if we know exactly where it started, but from our understanding, they saying it started from China, but we don't know. But this episode, the reason why I say this episode remind me of it, because there's a lot of weird things going on in the neighborhood. So everybody's pointing fingers like, no, you did it. No, you did it. I don't trust you. I don't trust them over across the street. They sneaky over there. And this is what this episode is about. Everybody's pointing fingers at each other. And it's crazy because everybody was so loving in this neighborhood. Now, because these craziness going on, everybody's pointing fingers. Like, they don't trust each other. So that's why I kind of like this. Like, you have to watch this episode. It's good. See, they're talking shit about each other.
Grounded in fiction, the underlying themes it embodies feel all too believable.
Let me tell you.
They're blaming him.
That's what you should be frightened of.
As evolved as humans have become, it doesn't take much to turn us into a frantic, distrusting mob.
Yeah.
Right over great. It's like whatever's up there, walk right over a switch. Well, some of us won't.
Number 2, time enough.
Okay, so let me tell you about this one. So skip this. Come to find, okay, so with all this craziness that's going on, they were so scared they panicked. So the guy who you saw that took the gun, they saw something that was in the dark and they shot it. Well, come to find out, it was the old man in the beginning of the show. He went to go get help, and I guess he was coming back to tell them something, and they shot him because they didn't know who it was in the dark, and then killed him. So everybody, that's when everybody was like going crazy. They gang up on him because they was like, oh, you were so quick to shoot him because you was afraid that he's gonna come back and tell us something that's going on. And he was so scared. He was like, no, I don't know what's going on. And well, at the end of the episode, it was really these aliens. They was like somewhere in the corner, and they was like playing with their mind. They flicking around with the lights. They was able to like turn off the light. They was able to do things in the neighborhood. And the guy, one of the aliens was saying, it's crazy how they, like, this small town could, you know, basically gang up on each other. So he was like, well, let's go to the next neighborhood and do the same thing. So that was their plan. But you have to watch it. It's good. It's good. One of my favorite. This is one of my favorite.
How's that?
Some misunderstood souls simply can't make a connection with the rest of humanity. So they lose themselves in the worlds of television, video games, or in Henry Bemis's case, books.
You, Mr. Bemis.
Everybody has an addiction. Like, he's addicted to reading books. Some people are addicted to playing video games. There are people addicted to doing things, and he's one, like I said, he's one of those people who are addicted to reading books, and people can't really relate to him.
A function within the organization.
Oppressed by his wife and boss, this bug-eyed bookworm never has enough time to read. When the rest of the world is wiped out in an explosion,
I was right there in the middle of...
it appears that Henry can live out the rest of his days happily.
It's kind of sad because I really liked him. I feel so bad for him because he just loved reading books, and people couldn't relate to him, and he's always trying to like he always trying to find ways to read, like, and people just always like telling him what to do, his wife telling him he needs to stop reading and all kind of stuff. I kind of feel bad for him, you know, but this episode is The Invader was pretty good. It was, I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite, but it was a pretty good episode too. The Vader was a woman who she saw a small little tiny little spaceship, and you know, and of course the audience like us, you know, we thought it was like some aliens trying to take over, but they were so tiny because the ship was very small and it was in her attic. It was real tiny. But come to find out, that spaceship was from it says USA. It was written, it says USA inside. Come to find out, they landed in a planet where everybody there was giants. So she was a giant. So I didn't even know that till I finished watching the end of that.
Was you that's the way I looked. I didn't believe you would.
Oh, that episode was pretty good too. That one, I think he went in the past and he saw himself. So he was trying to change something in the past. I'm trying to remember exactly what that episode was about. Yeah, I don't remember, but I know it had something to do with that.
I saw him, didn't recognize.
The Hollow Man was scary. This episode here was scary. It was very scary. Okay, you see the old man, I guess they're like some type of shepherd or something, and they was holding this man hostage, and I didn't know what was wrong with him. I don't understand why they kept him in hostage. I guess he did something bad, I guess. I don't know why they kept him, but come to find out, he was Satan. He was the devil. And they locked him in there, and they put this special wooden stick in the front to lock him in there. He can't touch it. So I don't know if the stick had like some type of holy water or it was some type of I don't know. He can't touch the wooden stick. And then this man came in there in the middle of the night from some rainy winter, some rainy storm, whatever. He came in there, and Satan was able to talk to him into letting him out, but he can't touch the stick, which was weird. Because when I was watching, I was like, why he can't? He could have just, all he had to do was just pick up the stick, and I didn't understand why he couldn't just do that. But now I found out later that he can't, and the God let him go. So basically, he let Satan out.
Man's weakness and Satan's strength.
Man's weakness, but Satan's absolute.
This finding carries with it serious implications. You understand that?
Absolute. I wouldn't say Absolute was one of my favorite episodes. It was okay. It was okay episode. The only thing, it was kind of dragging. That's what it was. It was dragging. It wasn't like there wasn't that much action or stuff. It was just too much going on, but it was just dragging. It didn't really draw my attention too much. But basically, this episode, the man that you see here believes in God. He reads his Bible, and then these people took over the world, and they want to erase anything to do with anything to talk about God or anything holy or anything about the Bible should not be mentioned. This is like a new world where you're not allowed to talk about God. And he was able to have the last Bible, and they wanted him to give up all that whatever. And it was weird because they put I'm trying to remember. I just remember the guy that was talking, that was on that thing. He was talking. He came to his house to visit him to try, I guess, to talk him out of believing God and all this other stuff. But it was okay. I'm not sure it was one of my favorites, but I would definitely have to watch this episode again because it's hard for me to explain exactly what happened. But it had something to do with that.
What are you going to ask her now?
What else?
Naked Time was definitely not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorites neither. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Twilight, but this was definitely not one of my favorites. This was another one that it was crazy because he keep putting coins inside of this I guess the psychic fortune, what do you call it, fortune type of machine that I guess will tell you what to do and what's gonna happen. It knows. It's yeah, basically yeah. It's kind of like the 8-ball. You know, when you talk to the 8-ball and you shake it, and the 8-ball will tell you, okay, yeah, do it, don't do it. It's kind of like that. But this one here is like more specific. It tell you exactly what to do. So it's like, I didn't really like it. I mean, you have to watch it, see if you like it. But I personally don't like it.
Am I gonna be promoted to Pete's City?
Number 1, Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
I have to say, this is one of my, yes, this episode here was definitely one of my favorite episodes. So I'll definitely put that I'll definitely put this on my top 10.
Before William Shatner boldly commanded the
This is one of my
ship
favorite.
Enterprise, he was a distressed aircraft passenger having a close encounter of another variety.
What's the difference where I sit? It's not the seat, it's the airplane.
Seeing a creepy gremlin tearing apart the wing of the plane.
There's a man out there.
What?
Look, he's crawling on.
How you tell how you tell someone on a plane that you saw a man walking on the plane? Like, how you even, like, I couldn't even tell nobody that, because it's like they look at you like you crazy.
This former mental patient's mind is either spiraling back into madness, or the plane is spiraling towards destruction.
I mean, if you weren't well, Dr. Martin just wouldn't let you fly all the way back home. It's just that simple.
I think it's because he's on the plane is stressing him, because he does have depression and what you call it, anxiety and all this other stuff. So I guess because being on the plane is stressing him out.
Nightmare at 20,000 feet challenges both its protagonist and audience to contemplate what's real and what's imagination.
Yeah.
A recurring theme in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone have you thinking, like, is this person mentally something wrong with them, or is it real? Is something that we see that, how should I explain? It's like I said, it's more like a mental thing, you know. So yeah.
Director Richard Donner injects the story with plenty of uncertainty, thrills, and chaos, fashioning an episode for the ages.
I ain't gonna lie. I would have closed my eyes and prayed and said, God, please help me. I don't know. That's scary. Yeah, so that's it. That was fun watching all these episodes. Like I said, it bring back memories. I see that I think it started. I think they put the year that it started. So yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna put the year when Twilight Zone had started. But yeah, so that's it. I hope y'all enjoy this episode of Twilight Zone reaction to the top 10 best. Those, like I said, I think 2 or 3 weren't my favorite episodes, but the rest was definitely my favorite. But there was 2 or 3 that was not much of my favorite episodes. But yeah, so if you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know, do you watch Twilight Zone? Did you watch this one here, like all the episodes? If you did, let me know which one was your favorite. And if you plan to watch them, go ahead. You'll thank me later, especially if you're home, you're bored, and there's not a lot of stuff to watch on TV, because there's really not a lot of stuff to watch on TV. Like, I got cable, and it's like they just showing the same repeats over and over and over again. Netflix don't got much, so go ahead and watch some Twilight Zone. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye. Peace.